Hello everyone, this is Owen Wall Street with the TradersPerspective.com. Taking a look here at natural gas. I'm going to be starting it off on a daily time frame here, and then I'm actually going to go ahead and zoom out and show you what I'm looking at longer term, talking about a few weeks to months out. I think that what we're going to see here is ultimately weaker natural gas prices. Now, I know I've been saying and advocating a return to the 3 mark. We have come back to the 3 and plummeted back into the blue area here, which has been the main trading area that we've seen for quite some time now. We've been in and out of this range for quite some time, and once again, back in it. Now, I expect prices to continue to move south. First off, let's just go with my overall forecast. So let's look at the weekly time frame here. And from what we could see on the weekly here, we have some technical things that we need to pay attention to. First thing being here is that we've had a failed golden cross here on the weekly time frame. Despite the aggressive move up, we have plummeted back down quite aggressively. And as I mentioned before, when we do get in the 3224 to 325 area, the selling aggression does come back in and it has a lot of force. And we're seeing the same thing, the same patterns repeating itself almost identically, except here we stopped on the 3 mark and then popped back up a little bit before getting back into this trading range here. We didn't even blink, came right back down, and I anticipate at minimum we're going to be coming down to 2.89 area. Honestly, longer term is what I'm looking at here. Looking for natural gas to head to about 2.53, 2.54 area before we see a strong bounce back up and then attempt back to get into that trading range yet again around 2.9, let's call it. And then I believe we'll see a failure and the trend will be heading lower. Now, where are we going to be heading? Just looking at the lows as far as the fibs are concerned, from the lows up to the highs here, I'm thinking that we do get back to about that 2.12 area. Now, before you start getting excited saying, how can you possibly say that? I'm going to go ahead and just go out to the monthly time frame to show you the historical prices of natural gas prices. So, looking back all the way to 1991, we can see here that natural gas was around 1.52 or so, all the way up to approximately 2.4, 2.5. We have been above that for quite some time. Back here, we had less reliable extraction resources or tools to actually get the product out of the ground. Now, being that it's 2017, we have been inundated with the amount of supply that we have for natural gas, both domestically here in the United States as well as abroad. Now, that's just my understanding. Let's just put it this way, loose understanding. I am not a field expert in natural gas, but I will say that if history is any indication of where we will be going, the fact that we have had less of these large spikes means that natural gas is starting to head into its true price range, which is back down in this area. And I'm thinking around 2 to 2.12 is going to be the new normal range for natural gas, unless we start seeing those historically cold winters and start seeing increased demand and burning through the inventories that we have. Then we'll start seeing those prices climb. But for right now, you can see here that even on the monthly chart, we are below our 50-period moving average that has held consistently as our resistance. So let's drop down to the weekly again to show you what I'm looking at. A failure of this golden cross here. 50 is still acting as the main resistance. Price definitely looking more bearish. Near term, expecting a drop down to 2.87, 2.88. Not out of the question to see a move back to 2.8 or even lower here to test 2.7s before we see some kind of near-term bounce and then ultimately ending up at 2.5, yet another bounce to 2.78 or even up to 2.89. I have to say or even because this market with natural gas is quite erratic, and when the bulls do start charging, we do see those extensions upwards. So the easiest way to look at natural gas for me is to look at the weekly time frame. It says a lot, and what it's saying right now is the bears are not done. So maintaining my bearish outlook here. Daily time frame as far as a trade setup for myself, I would like to see price start to stabilize a little bit or come back up to maybe at the 3 level before I would look to maybe get into a position with DGAZ, which is the short ETF for natural gas. So that's what I'll be looking for personally. I will not be taking a trade until after the holiday week is out of the way, so I will be looking at actively next week at trade setups, but will not be taking action until the volume or the big money starts coming back into the marketplace. Thank you all so much for watching and listening to my spiel. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, you can leave them at the video below, or you can go ahead and reach out to me directly, thetradersperspective@gmail.com. Thank you all so much for watching.